Alrighty, hello everyone and good afternoon. Happy March 30th. It is Sunday, March 30th, and it's just about 2 p.m. here in Southern Illinois, and you are listening to the Storm Predictor live from Franklin County, Illinois, covering the severe weather potential for this afternoon and evening, and it has already started. The first line of storms have actually moved off to our northeast, now impacting parts of areas along I-70, Effingham, up to Charleston, and just south of I-72 there along Champaign, Danville, looking at discrete line of storms that are moving through, producing some damaging winds and small hail. Here in Southern Illinois, our main focus has now shifted off to the west, where our tornado watch is in effect until 7 p.m. tonight. And actually, let's go ahead and let's bring up our latest watches here. And as you can see, it has been extended more towards the south, it looks like. And this goes for another 5 hours. So it will expire at 7 p.m. tonight. So obviously, if there's any good news to our severe weather threat, it will be during the daytime. And these storms will push off to the very east as we get close to tonight. So something we will keep an eye out for. It looks like we got a couple mesoscale discussions up. So another watch will be issued for the southern half of our region, likely here within the next, when did this come out? 1:41. So I would say within the next hour or so. But for the most part, all eyes are off to our west, and knock on wood, so far our tornado threat has been limited. So I mentioned to you guys that have been kind of keeping an eye on me and really keeping up to date with me. I was over in parts of right in this area earlier where that cell had just diminished and just kind of died off as it went into Jefferson County, but a new cell just erupted there. And we're going to go ahead, let's go ahead and double screen this so we can kind of see some of the rotation we're dealing with. Now, I will say, for the most part, right now, we're not dealing with a whole bunch of rotation. That's because our atmospheric conditions for tornado are really prime down in these southern counties right now. That will push up into our region as we get into the evening hours. But, for right now, there's not a huge tornado threat. But we're going to keep an eye on these things because they are supercell structures. So anything that does develop does have the potential to produce a tornado and some large hail. Really, the hail threat has increased a ton. Especially, let's go ahead and switch it up. Let's go one screen real quick. Let's zoom into this cell just off near Belleville and Shiloh. My goodness, this is some monster hail, folks. We're looking at an inch hail. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more than that coming right to the north of Belleville. And we'll go ahead and we'll kind of move this over. Hang on one second. Let me find my... There it is. So we use vertically integrated liquid. What this does is it really shows us kind of the hail structure. So anytime you see that whitish color, that's going to be your severe storm. So this one really near Macetown needs to go under severe thunderstorm warning, which I'm sure the National Weather Service is looking at right now. But just kind of wanted to throw that out. I will go ahead and let's take browser down here. I'm going to keep our sponsors up because I appreciate all that they do. But let's go ahead and we'll take down, there we go. We'll get that out of the way because we really already know our observations right now. We're very unstable here in Southern Illinois. But that just goes to show you that hail, and we'll go back out. I want to keep an eye on velocity as well. So look at that back off to the west there. Those are some stronger inbound winds, and these are going to be the cells that are going to be born in the same areas that we saw 2 weeks ago move into parts of Southern Illinois. So it's almost like Groundhog Day. Although I will say our tornado threat is not as strong as what it was back on the 15th. Which is good, which is a good thing, but it's something we still have to keep an eye on. So for right now, we'll go one box, kind of just keep an eye on the radar and the hail structure right now. Sorry, I'm trying to get like a better, there we go. We'll put it into motion and we'll let this thing kind of ride out right now. And you can kind of see these storms are lifting off into the northeast direction. So those of you in Southern Illinois right now, and what I mean by Southern Illinois is typically what I talk about is south of I-64. These storms right here are going to be your ones of concern as they push off into our direction. Okay, now these storms over here, Once again, we got a nice supercell developing right where that one died off. I got a lot of drawings there, but this one might have to be keeping a close eye. That's going to be moving into the Washington County area and into parts of northwestern Jefferson County. So a lot going on right now. Hopefully my live stream behaves with me. I know we've had some issues before, and just like that, we just got a severe thunderstorm warning for that cell that just developed. So let's go ahead and we'll zoom in here. I don't think I saw a possible tornado tag, but right there in Pinckneyville, I was literally right here north of Tamaroa waiting for that one cell to develop as it died off, and now this one booming right back into it. So severe thunderstorm warning for Perry County. And we're going to watch this kind of take off over to the west there. So let me make sure we're all good on this end here. And hopefully everyone can hear me and everything. I haven't been just talking on my own the last couple of minutes, and it looks like got about 200 of you on here, so sweet. So hopefully everything is good. You can hear me. If you don't, I apologize. Hopefully, like I said, I know last time we had some issues with this stream. If it does die out for some reason, don't freak out. I'll be right back on. What happens is my laptop tends to get overheated, and it will lose. I will lose one of my monitors. So I have about 3 monitors hooked up right now, and it gets too hot, and it kind of just, I don't know, I guess glitches out, if that's the way to put it. But anyway, right now, there's that new severe thunderstorm warning. I'm sorry, it's not for this cell in Perry County. It's the one going into Redbud, Waterloo, New Athens. As you can see, O'Fallon, you're getting hit with some heavier bands right now, but we're going to keep it right there as this moves off to the northwest. You can see all the severe storms, but you know we're getting lucky right now, folks. No tornado or active tornado warnings at this time. And I'm going to be going through some different weather things as we get going, so please don't freak out if I'm not talking this whole time. I think it'll be very hard to actually communicate the entire time, but just a lot to talk about, and even into parts of Wednesday. I know I have not talked about that yet, folks. I'm kind of waiting to get through today's setup, and then we'll talk more about Wednesday later on tonight, maybe into tomorrow. I don't want to confuse anyone. So right now it looks like the greatest area of concern for our region is really going to be right around the Ohio River Valley. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of draw an area that is more than likely going to have the greatest concern for tornadoes and significant severe weather this afternoon and evening. So like I said, right now we're kind of getting lucky with the tornado threat. But let's go ahead and, yeah, right there, that's going to be really my main concern for the rest of the evening will be around the area south of I-64. So I'm just going to draw you guys out a picture of what my area of concern will be. And obviously it's going to be going off of just our mesoscale. So these are our surface analysis. I know you can't see anything right now, but I'm kind of going over some data. And right now, things are looking very good for our region. And what I mean by that, I've been looking at our cap, our overall structure of our atmosphere. We are very unstable right now, I will say that. But that overall spin, that rotation that we need, we're kind of lacking that. And that's a good thing. So that's going to help kind of give us supercell structures that are just more of a hail-based and a damaging wind threat. And that's why we're seeing a lot more severe thunderstorm warnings right now. If we go back to what we saw back on the 15th, we had a ton of rotation in our atmosphere, and that's what gave us our huge tornado threat, because any storm that went up just gave us that strong rotation. But right now, if I had to guess and just go off of our meso analysis, this right here would be our region that I'm most concerned for tornadoes if we have any today. I'm not saying that north of this area couldn't see tornadoes at all, but I'm just saying the greatest atmospheric conditions right now for tornadoes is going to be along Route 13 in southern Illinois, all the way down into northern Arkansas, western Tennessee, western Kentucky, Paducah, Cape Girardeau. Clarksville, Murray State, those areas are going to be my main tornado threat. So as we go along this afternoon into this evening, we're going to keep an eye on this area. Okay, so just stay tuned. I know I only have a few of you that are live here on the Storm Predictor, and that's perfectly fine. But like I said, as we get going, and we're on YouTube as well, so those of you that have YouTube or have friends and family that don't have Facebook, we are live on YouTube. I have not checked that to see if that is up and going. Probably need to check that. Looks like we are live on YouTube. It looks like everything's good right now. Okay, perfect. So looking good, looking good. Okay, so yeah, that's our kind of our main story right now. So let's go ahead and zoom back in. Let's double box this. It's a nice looking supercell in northern Perry County. But like I said, just really a hail threat right now. These storms don't have that rotation, that helicity that we need in the atmosphere. So right now, just a major hail threat throughout the region. We've kind of shifted from that tornado threat to a damaging wind and a large hail threat this afternoon. Even though we're in a tornado watch, conditions are favorable, just not as strong as what we saw back on the 14th and 15th of March a few weeks, 2 weeks ago. So like I said, this is all good news right now. Obviously, we can still see severe weather, which we're seeing with these hail, with these monster storms with hail. But like I said, right now, confidence is definitely growing, which is a good thing that we're just going to see overall big hail or big hailers, as Reed Timmer would say, gorilla-size hail. He likes to exaggerate a lot. Now, one thing I wish I could do is like, well, it looks like I do have chat. Okay, cool, sweet. So those of you, I do have chat on both Facebook and YouTube during this. So feel free if you're in chat. I'll try to answer as many questions as I can as we go along. But right now, just kind of like I said, focusing on our regions here in southwestern Southern Illinois into the St. Louis metro, as these storms move off to our northeast. And like I said, those in Southern Illinois, these are going to be the storms to watch as they develop into our region. So big storm just north of Perry County heading into, probably going to split Mount Vernon and Centralia. That one's got some big hail, so heads up on that. So it looks like I won't be able to reply on Facebook, but I'll be able to see Facebook. So that's pretty cool. Still trying to learn a little bit on how to do all this. So just kind of give me time to go through all this and everything. But all right, thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. Got your chat there. So glad YouTube's doing good. Obviously, the more severe weather events we have, which I hope we don't, the better, I can kind of adjust our technology and everything like that. So those of you that are going into Washington County, just south of Nashville, coming into Ashley, Richview, just north of Du Bois, look out. I would say easily some golf ball size hail right there, getting ready to cross over 51 just to the north of Tamaroa and Du Bois. So just a heads up, that will be going over I-64 near Ashley. It'll split Woodlawn, hit Richview head on, and then go up into the northwestern portions of Jefferson County here in Southern Illinois. So keeping an eye on these as well. These are some big storms, and actually let's just take a look for fun right now. We'll double box this and kind of just look and see how high these clouds and these storms are getting. Let me find our echo tops here. So we're shooting up about 40,000 feet right now. That's pretty tall. Those of you may know, storms max out right at about 50, 60,000 feet. But they can overshoot sometimes. They can overshoot and come back down. But for the most part, our storms like to kind of sit around the anywhere from 50 feet all the way up to just under 60 if you're very big and severe. So, regardless, that's still shooting up 40,000 feet. That's pretty good. So that's going to cause some pretty good size hail. And if we have any reports, if you guys have any reports to pass along, feel free to give me a shout out or anything like that on Facebook or YouTube. Like I said, I'm trying to do my best to learn how these comments work and everything since I've switched to both YouTube and Facebook. So bear with me as we kind of work on this together. But just kind of looking at the cloud structure and how high we're kind of shooting up into the atmosphere. Pretty good severe weather. Even back off over here near Houston, Missouri, shooting up right at about 52,000 feet. That's going to be a good storm. And that one could be in a more environmental conditions for tornadoes. So these are going to be the cells we're going to watch later on as they come into our viewing area. But for right now, like I said, just a good hail threat and damaging wind threat for our region. And hopefully it stays that way. Definitely don't want to report any tornadoes. I want everyone to be safe on this Sunday, as it is springtime now here in Southern Illinois, and our severe weather and just weather in general is going to be very, very active the next couple of weeks. I know those of you have asked me tons of questions about Wednesday. I will go ahead and take a pause on Wednesday's activity until after today, okay? I don't want to confuse anyone. So it looks like Cheyenne, pretty dark on the north side of Williamson County. I don't blame you. There is a little tiny cell that developed. Doesn't look too strong at all, but it's going to impact McLeansboro here in a little bit. Just a light shower. Not even any lightning on these as well. Actually, let me see if my lightning data is on. My lightning data is on, believe it or not, and we are not seeing a ton of lightning with these storms, which is actually surprising a little bit. So unless there is something wrong with my data, which there always could be, so let's go ahead, turn the lightning back on. I'm not seeing a whole bunch of lightning like we saw, so that also could tell me that these storms are not as strong as what they are capable of right now. So going back and talking about that cap that I mentioned throughout the week, we can go ahead and pretty much make that assumption it has eroded. So we got enough energy, and that was one thing I wanted to look at. So I was thinking we would need about 2,000 CAPE. CAPE is what we call pretty much convective energy. It is our energy that is needed for storms to develop. And overall, for a good springtime-like storm system, you need about 2,000 joules of CAPE. Right now, let me go ahead and draw one of my awesome circles once again. This area right here is sitting at right about 2,500 joules. So perfect energy and perfect amount of energy for severe weather support. Now back over here, for example, everything behind Interstate 44, there's a big goose egg. There's no energy, okay? So once we get this line of storms to push off to our east and northeast, we will be done for the day. And hopefully, I know the timing's been a big, just a big thing lately because I've been back and forth on timing. Hopefully, this will all be out of our region and we can go off the air about 6 o'clock tonight. That would be obviously awesome. But we'll have to keep an eye on these storms near just off to the west of Poplar Bluff and keep an eye on them. And, you know, some of these same areas getting hit over and over again. I can tell you right now, this area, Dexter, Poplar Bluff, Sykeston, this area right here just got hammered the other day. And so I'm praying that the storms can stay out of there and we can stay pretty consistent with just overall strong to severe storms this afternoon with low tornadic threat. So we will wait and see and kind of go from there. It's just a waiting game right now, but if anyone wants any wintry weather coverage up in the northern parts of Wisconsin, they have 1 to 2 inch snowfall rates just to the north of Green Bay and some freezing rain as well. So If you want to travel up there, you can get some winter weather if you'd like. Just kind of going over some more data here, letting you guys look at live radar coverage. Like I said, no active tornado warnings at this time. Just some, really the main threat is hail and some damaging winds. Not seeing a lot of reports coming in, which is a good thing. And we're just kind of looking over in different chats right now. And literally our cold front right now is just past. This is going to be our cold front. I know you guys just love my drawings, but this is, oh my goodness, that is rough. I'm not even going to attempt to draw a cold front, but overall you get the picture. This is right where it's going to be. So there we go. You know, they never tell you to take art class when you're in meteorology, when you take meteorology classes. And I am not an artist. I'm good at stick figures, and that's about it. But there's your cold front. Obviously, those storms are riding it. But we're just waiting on this thing to pass through. Tornado watch until 7 p.m. tonight, folks. So those of you that maybe don't know yet. And I highly encourage you, if you have friends, family, neighbors, maybe don't know what's going on, because I know right now here in Southern Illinois it's beautiful. Sun's out. Doesn't really feel like it's going to have any, weather today, but sometimes that sorry, I'm currently reading something here. So like I said, folks, sorry, just kind of going over some different data right now. Not really a whole bunch to talk about, just some, like I said, some hail being reported in and around the St. Louis metro. Pretty good severe storm moving through parts of eastern Washington County. Going to heads up to over to Marion County and Jefferson County. So just a lot of different things going on right now. We got some small nickel-sized hail southwest of Ashley. Doesn't surprise me one bit. Thank you for that report. That would be in this cell right here. It looks like it's weakening just a tad bit. Definitely mature just to the east of Ashley. And like I said, these storms are really falling apart. There's not a lot. Once they go up, they're starting to really dissipate. There's not a lot to keep them holding together. So like I said, my gut tells me we're definitely in store for some storms this evening, but nothing as widespread or extreme as what we saw back 2 weeks ago. Kind of going over some more data. Looks like right at, I'm going to kind of probably go over checking over the latest model runs here, see what timing could look like. So there's that development. Really start to get some development right around 6 p.m. and then 6, 7 p.m. and then really right at about 8 we should be good, but I'm going to keep an eye on this area for development. So still got a long way to go, folks, but overall, like I said, right now doing pretty good. Let me see here. Looks like some people are unable to comment. Let me see if I can fix that issue. That's always a fun one. It's usually just a simple thing, or a simple fix. I say that now, it probably won't even work. Who can comment? There we go. Sorry about that, everybody. Everybody should be able to comment now. I apologize. For some odd reason, I don't know why, but Facebook, anytime I go live, it switches all my privacy and stuff just back to... It's just crazy to me. But, alright, and we'll turn on closed captions as well, so everyone else can maybe see. So alright, so we should be good now. You should be able to comment. If you can't, I don't know what the problem is, but you should be able to, so I apologize if you're not able to. But anyway, yeah, so earlier, since we don't have any really active tornado warnings right now or anything that looks too significant, really wanted to chase that cell that was looking really good over by Chester in Randolph County going into Pinckneyville, and it died out, and I really don't understand why. I think it was mostly a surface-based, obviously going off that outflow boundary, and just didn't really have the energy. It did have a more upper-level rotation on it, so there was nothing surface-based. It was just super high up. Once I got closer, it just fell apart and just kind of sucked. But regardless, it got me some practice on my timing because I really wanted to kind of head more towards Pinckneyville and then hop north, but I ended up hopping north on 51, and it was actually perfect timing. So pretty good practice to be out in the field sometimes just to get back in the swing of things. But hopefully everyone is enjoying their Sunday so far. And then those of you, like I said, I know a lot of people right now are like, oh, it's all going to our north and all this. Well, I mean, just hold tight. You know, it's only 2:20. You know, we expected this to go throughout the evening. So, I mean, just heads up and stay calm. But I'm probably, hopefully, going to give the all clear to the state of Illinois in our area right at about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock tonight. That's the that right there is the time frame I'm looking at. So hopefully even earlier. Hopefully this can get through and we can be done with everything. But obviously right now just a lot going on, and we're just going to monitor these storms. And like I said, the main threat is going to be all this that develops back over into here, which we're starting to see some now over here in northern Arkansas. So it's kind of, but yeah, they're Waterloo down to Festus, Park Hills, Missouri. A line of severe storms making their way through, and then also watching these cluster of storms right there. So those of you just joining us maybe for the first time, this is live continuing severe weather coverage from the Storm Predictor here in Franklin County. Live streaming, and have been, and kind of improving our technology throughout each experience. So appreciate those of you that are joining this afternoon and evening, keeping you safe and company here. The good news is right now we're not seeing that huge tornado threat like we thought we would see. I think right now the timing is just not quite going to come together. And like I said before, if you're just now joining me, this is my biggest area of concern for tornadoes later on this evening, okay? So it's going to be south of Route 13 in southern Illinois, south of the Ohio, along the Ohio, all the way down into northern Arkansas, or northeastern Arkansas, SEMO, southeast Missouri, Murray, Kentucky, Clarksville, Madisonville, western Kentucky, northwestern Tennessee. These areas are my biggest concern, especially anytime after 5 p.m., so just keep that in mind. Those first rounds of severe storms have moved off to the northeast. They are now into the state of Indiana. And kind of going over some stuff real quick. And like I said, if I kind of disappear for a little bit, you don't hear me. Don't think I've gone anywhere. Just kind of looking over more data, and we obviously. Oh, there's our first tornado warning of the day. Let's go ahead and not in our area, but hey, let's take a look at it. Let's go to National Weather Service in Lincoln. Actually, let's go to Indianapolis there. A little kink in that line, typical. Oh, got to go back to our velocity scan here. Yeah, just like that, little hook echo there, little bend in the line. So radar indicated threat there for, looks like just crossing over. That'd be just to the east of Danville. So heads up if you're in Indiana in that area. Like I said, no active tornado warnings in our county. The closest severe thunderstorm warning for eastern Washington County, heading up to Jefferson and Marion counties. And not a whole bunch of reports coming in. Everything that I'm seeing is nothing extreme by any means. So, and I apologize. I can't get to everybody's comments and questions. I tried my best, but it's too much. I don't have time, and I'd rather just keep everybody safe and do everything that I can. So. But if you do have a question or something, you can post it in chat, and I'm monitoring it, so I may be able to get back to you. Got a couple posting in there. So it looks like just got a notification here. A new severe thunderstorm warning is going to be issued for these storms coming out of St. Louis. I don't know if they're talking about this back end, because I don't think that has anything to do with it, because that should be behind the cold front. We'll wait and see here. So it looks like it's going to be for these storms. So Randolph County, you're now included in that severe thunderstorm warning, which I guess I should have been. There's so many warnings. I could post all these, but it'd probably drive everybody nuts. So yeah, new one. It's going to go for like Evansville, Illinois area, just north of Chester, Ellis Grove, just south of Redbud and Baldwin. You'll see it kind of pop up here in a second, but we'll go back to one screen. Like I said, we're not dealing with a whole bunch right now. Just kind of looking at our overall threat, and you can see the storms kind of developing, which way they're moving. But hopefully everyone's having a good Sunday. It's a beautiful day out there, at least for right now. Our overall tornado threat is not as high as last week or our 2 weeks ago system. Not saying that could change, but just right now I'm pretty comfortable with how things are working out. And typically you can really get a good feeling when you start seeing the storms develop and stuff like that. So it is early in the afternoon, so anything is possible, but right now nothing too concerning. We will continue to watch it and go from there. Is it nap time yet? Anybody taking a good Sunday nap? Really good size hail core, just to the north of Bonnie Terry, I think. Horrible name sometimes, but right there, that is a wicked hail core. My goodness. What am I looking for here? There it is. Yeah, that's maxed out. I would say definitely quarter size up to baseball, maybe ping pong ball size hail coming out of there. I think I just saw a report too. That's going to be in Missouri. Actually, got a video here. Very close to ping pong ball size hail. So that's going to cause some damage. And that's going to move. This is going to be the cell moving up into the Evansville area here shortly. So those of you in Evansville, Illinois, heads up. Pretty good size hail core with past reports of sorry, I was reading another thread here, but has the history of producing some quarter-size hail, a little bit larger, up to a ping pong ball. Which actually, let's see here, yep, ping pong ball size hail. So I've seen that on the confirmed by video. I want to thank the Storm Predictor sponsors. They're up in the top right corner. I want to give them a shout out. I highly encourage all of you, if you ever need anything, any sponsor that I do put up on my page are legitimate, good working people, and always support your small businesses here in Southern Illinois. I'm not for the major commercialized people. So support local businesses and support your community as well. If you would like to be sponsored, let me know. I'm trying. I know I have a lot right now. I'm trying to kind of, not trying to have too many sponsors, but I mean, I always like helping the small businessmen and women in our communities. So let me know if you are interested. A good little supercell down here in southeast Missouri, starting to get that little hook on there. You can kind of see that hook shape. So starting to see maybe some more supercell development. Keep an eye on that. Very strong storm. Severe thunderstorm warning was dropped in Jefferson County, regardless, just south of Centralia into the northwest of Mount Vernon. Strong storm moving in there. But like I said, guys, right now we're doing really good. Doing really good. Kind of how I expected it. I mean, I definitely expected more storm coverage before the main event. So we'll see. Here in southern Illinois, we really have not been hit too much. We've had some scattered stuff, but that area is still very unstable, and I'm going off our surface analysis here, and it's just going to be a ticking time bomb for when this line of storms move in. They will have the energy of producing some quarter-size hail up to golf ball size, and then winds up to 70 miles an hour, and then maybe, just maybe, an isolated quick tornado spin up or two. So we're keeping an eye on that as well. Let me see if I can go back to chat here. So Gracie, Christopher, yep, we're looking at this evening. I know right now we're at 2:30. I'm watching a few storms. I would say the quickest one to get us, and now we have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Washington County. The quickest storm I see to get us would be near Farmington. And these storms are moving at about 55 miles an hour. So maybe around 4 o'clock we'll start seeing some storms, 4 or 5, for the central part of southern Illinois. Around 5, Jamie, yeah. Williamson County, yep, around that same time. Like I said, I mean, really as soon as 3 p.m. hits, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. is going to be our main time frame here in the south of I-64 and just all the rest of the region. So just stay weather ready. It's the best thing to do, and I'll keep you up to date with the best coverage possible. Got about, looks like 136 of you on right now. Hopefully that's correct. I don't know. If not, no big deal. Like I said, I'm here for you. So and that's one thing too. I know a lot of people were asking, well, why didn't we see that upgrade from the Storm Prediction Center? Well, we just don't have we didn't have the right stuff. The kind of backed off on the energy a lot, and that's why we didn't see the upgrade. So Marissa, Illinois, we are looking at a little bit of circulation, looks like, coming into that region. So let's go ahead. We're going to zoom in, see if we can find this rotation, take off our hail. Yeah, that is probably going to go tornado warned. Right there, you can see our inbound winds, outbound winds, very strong inbound winds right now. On the back, actually, these are outbound winds. So inbound winds coming around here, are outbound winds really coming around. So tornado possible for sure. So heads up. If you are in just to the St. Liber, sorry, I got a whole bunch of stuff. So new tornado watch issued, and that's probably going to be for the remainder of our counties, but we're not going to focus on that right now. We really want to focus on this one. So this one is going to track. Let's go ahead. Not tornado warned yet, but it's going to get one very soon. And if I had to bet, probably right about there. So just to the south of Oakville, Plum Hill, and Lively Grove, you need to be in your safe spot. This will head off to the Hoyleton area. So let's go ahead and we'll back this out, kind of put it into motion here so we can see what we're dealing with. But right there, really going to ride very close to Lively Grove. Just to the north. Plum Hill, you need to be in your safe spot if you have any friends and family in Plum Hill, Illinois. Lively Grove, just to the north of Nashville, folks. This is going to be coming into Washington County, so this is a very serious situation. This is a very quick spin up, but a very strong circulation right there. This thing could drop a tornado at any time. So we want to make sure we are in our safe spot. If you live in Lively Grove, Plum Hill, just to the south of St. Libre, south of Oakville, and this is going to scoot just to the north of Nashville. Just to the north of Nashville. And this will cross over at Plum Hill. Let me get the map out real quick so I can call out the right state highways and everything for everybody. So this will pass over Route 15 at Plum Hill. And there's our newest scan. It looks like it's weakened a little bit, but still with that inflow, or that outflow, I'm sorry, that is very strong still. Okay, so winds really whipping, and I would say if anything, we're going to have some damaging winds to this. I would say at least a solid 60 miles an hour. Yeah, right there, 67. So damaging winds, straight line winds for sure. So definitely take cover if possible. They just put the tornado possible tag on this. So Plum Hill, just north of Nashville. If you live on the west side of Nashville, I would still maybe seek shelter in this. If you're in Addyville, I believe that's right. I'm sorry if not. And just to the south of Oakville, please seek shelter at this time. It's not a tornado-warned storm, but is likely to produce a tornado at any time. National Weather Service is monitoring this very, very closely right now. Looks like there was a funnel cloud reported in this at one time. So like I said, National Weather Service in St. Louis doing a good job right now of monitoring this situation. But like I said, no tornado warning yet, but a tornado very possible right into this scenario, right in this situation. And this is our biggest cell so far, most dangerous cell of the day, so just heads up. Like I said, those of you in Plum Hill, Illinois, you're in the direct path of this, and this is going to be crossing right over Route 15 here within probably, and that's probably where your tornado is going to be, folks, is right here. I know this is not updated yet, but that is a pretty good hook echo, pretty classic supercell, little V-shape action going on with our little hook. So Plum Hill, Illinois, Addyville, west side of Nashville, be safe. Just to the north of Lively Grove. I mean, just to the north. If you live in Lively Grove, you could probably look out the northeast side of your house and likely see a pretty good wall cloud, pretty good funnel cloud, possibly a tornado. Not 100% sure, but waiting on the next radar scan here. And we'll see. What we get. But like I said, just monitoring this closely. So like I said, friends and family, Plum Hill, Addyville, Illinois. Definitely want to seek shelter at this time for a possible tornado. Like I said, just some strong rotation right now, a little scattered on the radar, but days like today, they can happen really quick and without warning, so I just want to make sure everyone's safe in that area. This is going to be crossing over Route 15 in between Nashville and St. Liberty here within the next probably 15-30 minutes. So Plum Hill, you got plenty of time right now. Like I said, just want to make sure you're safe. And this is going to go south of Oakville and head off to the northeast. I believe we're at 55 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour. So go ahead and just kind of draw this. So, I mean, we're about 20 minutes right now for, actually less than that, probably about 15 minutes for Plum Hill. So we'll keep an eye on this. We'll keep it kind of right here right now. I'm looking to see if we have any more updates coming in. And let me figure out this new tornado watch. And National Weather Service just coming out and saying for the most part here in southern Illinois, wind and hail threat, isolated tornado over the next few hours. So that's a good sign. They're kind of seeing the same thing I am. So I'll go ahead and maybe share that. Our tornado watch does go until 11 p.m., but do not expect it to last that long for our region. So just a heads up, those of you that are, gosh darn it. So it looks like the tornado watch covers the rest of southern Illinois. Like I said, I'll get a map here in a second. So pretty good rotation just right there to the north of Lively Grove. Like I said, if there's going to be a tornado, it's going to be right in here somewhere. So just to the north. Like I said, if you're in Plum Hill, just for precautions, I'd like you to be in your safe spot. Would really like you to be in your safe spot, if possible. Back out just a little bit. Kind of just looking around right now. This one's our only one that's really showing signs of any tornadic activity. So it looks like we just got a report of significant hail from St. Liberty area. So that would have been in this storm right here. So significant damage. Waiting for media confirmation here. Looks like we're going to have some photos shortly. So there we go. A little, I don't know if we've got an update yet. Keeping an eye off over on this storm as well. Let me see what they're looking at here. So that storm in Jefferson County is all alone too, so might want to keep an eye on this one. But like I said, right now, this one's our greatest threat. Plum Hill, like I said, if you got any friends, family, west side of Nashville, Plum Hill, Addyville, need to be seeking shelter at this time. Like I said, no confirmed tornado and no tornado warning, but yeah, definitely some pretty good size ping pong ball size hail in that storm. Had a friend ask me if the hail threat was pretty big, and at first I said, nah, it shouldn't be too bad, and now I'm like, told him yesterday, I said, it might be a little bit more than what's anticipated, and sadly it is definitely the case today. Like I said, just keeping an eye on this one right now, waiting for a new update. Looks like our last date was at 2:45. Let me see here. 2:42. That's coming right into Plum Hill, so there's our latest. And there it is, still showing that rotation, but just obviously on radar it shows a lot more, looks a lot more dangerous than what it could be. Yeah, I've got a lot of questions coming in about the tornado watch getting extended to 11. It's easier once you are included in a tornado watch to just extend it. So that's all they did. Here in Southern Illinois, they're likely to cancel it by probably 7, 8 p.m. So don't anticipate being up all night. Like I said, this will all be through before everyone goes to bed tonight. New severe thunderstorm warning for Marion County, for Salem. Going to be for just 60-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-size hail. So we'll kind of back up a little bit. I'll keep both kind of eyes on this right now. But like I said, if you're north of, just to the west of Nashville, north side of Nashville, please seek shelter just for your safety right now. Regardless, you're going to have about 60-mile-an-hour straight-line winds and a possible tornado heading your way. Kind of working on my setup here a little bit, standing up. Kind of just looking over everything. New Athens, Illinois, got some ping pong ball size hail. That's pretty good size. That'll do some damage. Probably a lot of insurance companies getting a lot of claims, I would say. It's going to be a busy time. I will post that new tornado watch here shortly. Not that it matters at this point because everyone, I think, is aware that they're in a tornado watch. Oh, so those of you that were, since I just wondered about lightning, it looks like the software I'm using, Radar Scope, stopped receiving data about 40 minutes ago, so they are working on that right now. So that would be why we are not seeing any lightning on radar. I was wondering if something was up, because I was like, these storms definitely have lightning. So at least we're getting to the bottom of that. Like I said, no major changes right now, just all severe thunderstorm warnings. We had one tornado warning earlier, but that was in Indiana. Looks like some pea-sized hail being reported on the south side of Salem. That'd be that severe thunderstorm warned storm there. And as we look towards the Washington County storm, I'm looking more at like straight line damaging winds up to 60, maybe 70 miles an hour, just to the west and north of Nashville. So that's going to be crossing over Route 15 as we speak. That will be pushing off to the northeast along I-64. And that will pass on into Marion County later on if it continues. Hopefully everyone can hear me real good. I was going to say, let me know if you can't hear me or if I sound kind of weird. I don't know. I never really have tried to listen, but if I'm sounding good, good. So yeah, northern Jefferson County now, north of Mount Vernon, you have a severe thunderstorm warning. Quarter-size hail. Like I said, coming right over Plum Hill right now. A little bit of rotation, but more than likely going to be straight line damaging winds. And that's going to go, of course, for just the south side of Oakville and Addyville. And that is crossing over Route 15 as we speak. Oh, Labory. Okay, thank you, Kim. Sorry about that. I know I'm not the best with pronunciation. Yes, you sure can. You can comment on here. Yes, thank you, Donna. Appreciate it. Yes, Jefferson County, you are under severe thunderstorm warning. Northern part, just to the north, going to hit Dix head on. North of Mount Vernon along I-57. South side of Salem, getting some pea-sized hail. I would say, Dix, you're probably going to get some pea-sized hail here shortly. And like I said, just right there over Plum Hill. I don't know. I don't know if anyone has friends or family in Plum Hill, but if they could maybe get a report for me and just let me know what they experienced, that'd be great, because it just, on radar, it looks like at least 60 mile an hour winds. But it also looks like there could be a small spin up, so that's why I wanted everyone to seek shelter. Okay, yeah. Let's go ahead. Let's go live. We have a tornado warning, everybody. This is in Washington County. This is going to be for this tornado. So Plum Hill, hopefully you've been in your shelter, but we have a now tornado warning for this storm. Plum Hill, moving just off to the west. It is crossing over Route 15 in southern Illinois. New Minden, you need to be in your safe spot right now. This is going to pass just to the south of Addyville, but you need to be in your safe spot as well. Plum Hill, anyone, friends or family, Plum Hill, hopefully they are safe, but likely tornado just went right over them. A new tornado warning is going to pop up any second. This is going to go and stay on the direct path near Hoyleton, New Minden, north of Nashville. Those of you in that region, cannot stress it enough. Very dangerous situation. This is our first tornado warning of the day. So Nashville, you are actually included in this now. New Minden, Hoyleton. This is going to ride along Route 15 up Hoyleton. This is a radar indicated threat and $half size hail. This is going to be really a right along I-64 as well. I know a lot. That big portion of Route 64 was closed down a couple nights ago due to a horrible wreck. It's going to be that same region. But as you can see, there is our tornado warning polygon. So if you're in Nashville, you are included in that. So please get to your safe spot. New Minden, Hoyleton, Iverington, Richview, north of Ashley. Please seek shelter at this time. Like I said, if anyone has any friends or family in that area, especially Plum Hill, would love to hear a report. I haven't seen any reports yet, and it just kind of concerns me. That we have a possible tornado. And let's go ahead and we'll switch real quick and we'll go to correlation coefficient and not see anything there. And not see anything there. So that's good. But Addyville getting some pretty good sized hail right now. Like I said, that tornado warning now right along Route 15. And we'll go ahead and look. The tornado was near Nashville, moving east at 50. So more of a more easterly direction. So north side of Nashville, definitely seek shelter. New Minden, Hoyleton, Richview, north side of Nashville. It should stay on this path right here. It's kind of making more of a jog, but there's that last kind of horrible view there, but that's pretty good rotation still. Let's go ahead and switch to Paducah radar. Not enough there, a lot of crap there. It's not getting enough. We'll stay with St. Louis real quick. Hard to tell. Like I said, it's going to ride parallel in between Route 15 and I-64. North side of Nashville, you need to be in your safe spot right now. North side of Nashville, tornado. Possible tornado right here. And it is going to move literally right along Route 15 here. Could jog a little bit to the north, but that's the area I'm most concerned about. Just to the north of Nashville, north of Route 15. Yes, Richview, you will be in the direct path, so be careful, Holly. You got time right now, but be ready to seek shelter here in the next probably 5 minutes. Make sure you can find a safe spot. This tornado warning goes probably for the next 30 minutes, so I'd say expire probably about 3:15, 3:30. Storm is definitely growing. I can tell that by this little couplet right here. That's about golf ball size hail. Just to the northeast of Addyville. Now let's go ahead. We're going to just make things crazy here. So storm's about 45 to about 48,000 feet high. And that's where we're kind of seeing that crazy amount of hail. And there's our latest update there. I'm not seeing anything confirmed by radar, which is good. But the tornado, if there is one, is crossing over the north side of Nashville as we speak. So those of you that are along 127 north of Nashville, that's going to be a lot of like the plants, holes, a lot of the like Tractor Supply, Diedrich, Washington County Animal Control, Warren's Auto Body, up in that region, just south. Obviously, all of your plants and everything. So you got NOTS Logistics, Remington Seeds, the Republic of Tea, all those areas, GDB International. You guys need to be in your safe spot. Like I said, it's exactly parallel with Route 15, and it's just now crossing. If there is a tornado, it is directly over kind of where the McDonald's is there in Nashville on the north side off I-64. That's where your tornado is going to be. I don't have anything confirmed right now. I'm just saying, if there is one, that is where it's at. Right there in the Industrial Parkway area. Right there. So there's your tornado. Very, very close along I-64, just south of I-64. It's going to cross over 127 north of Nashville any second. So please, please, please. Cannot stress that enough. There is a likely tornado. Man, it is literally going to hit the industrial area right there south of McDonald's off the Nashville exit on 64 if there's a tornado. And I really hope there's not. I'm praying there's not, but if there is, it is on the ground. So, sorry about that, folks. Looking over some different data right now. Like I said, north side of Nashville. Need to be taking cover. This is going to be moving. It's literally directly over Nashville right now. So, let's see here. I don't think we had enough for a CC drop. Pretty good rotation. I have someone that's trying to send me a video right now of a possible tornado, so we're waiting to see here. Regardless, still radar indicated threat. But like I said, if you're along I-127, I-64 at the Nashville exit, your tornado, if anything, is right here. Let me see here. So Wayne County now has a severe thunderstorm warning. Woodlawn, you now have a severe I think that's the one we've already been looking at. But like I said, kind of keeping it here right now. Let me back up just a little bit so we can look at our full picture right now. And like I said, Nashville is really our main area of concern. Another one would be maybe Dix. You kind of can see that little configuration hook there, but not really seeing a whole bunch yet. This is going to cross over I-64. If you're in Richview, just a heads up, this is going to become very close to you. So Richview, Illinois, be ready. I think it's going to take a little bit of a turn to the north, so that's why I'm a little bit concerned. It should ride right with I-64. If this continues, it should stay north of Woodlawn. should stay north of Mount Vernon, but anyway, Mount Vernon's a pretty big community, so heads up there. But like I said, Richview, Nashville, north of Nashville there, it's probably in some farmland, so we're the north side of Nashville should be good now. You're just going to be getting a lot of heavy rain. Waiting for some more reports here. Not really seeing a whole bunch. And that's a good thing, I guess. I mean, I definitely don't want an active tornado on the ground by any chance, but definitely scary for the sirens in Mount Vernon. Definitely don't like that. No threat to Mount Vernon at this time. The only thing I can think of is they're sounding the sirens due to the severe thunderstorm warning to the north. That's the only thing I can think of, but no threat to Mount Vernon at this time. I hate that they do that. Not a big fan of that, to be honest with you, Casey. Thank you for letting me know. But like I said, right now the only tornado warning I'm aware of is going to be this storm that just passed over Nashville. Now hold on a second here. What do we got going on? This radar is super off. Not exactly what the problem is, but it looks like right here, just starting to take more of a north turn. So south side of Hoyleton, Iverington, you need to be taking shelter. Richview, it's going to pass you to the north now. Took a little bit of a jog, didn't expect it that big. Iverington and Hoyleton need to be in your safe spots. Anyone with friends and family in that area. Not a confirmed tornado at this time, but like I said, it has the history of definitely producing a funnel cloud. And it looks like an update from emergency management there in Washington County. They're reporting no rotation, so that's good. So hopefully somebody's on this storm right now as we speak, which is good. But like I said, the placement of our cold front right now is right along Randolph County. So those of you in Randolph County, this is our cold front. So once this passes through, like I said, slowly coming to us, but cold air back behind it. It is currently 79 in Mount Vernon and in O'Fallon at 68. So about a 20-degree difference there. So just kind of a, well, I'm sorry, 20-degree, 10-degree difference, sorry. A little extreme there. But like I said, kind of watching that rotation right around Hoyleton and Iverington. So be careful. Crossing over I-64 as we speak. Back to 2. And right now the big story, storms. All over the place, stretching all the way up from really the north side of I-72 all the way down to Chester. We have severe storms, a huge line that's going to affect really about everybody. And here's a nasty storm up here near Greenville. That's got to be behind the front. Maybe not, though. My goodness. Keep an eye on that one. So Hoyleton, rotation right around you. Let's see if we have an update at all. No update. So fingers crossed that this this storm continues to move and weaken a little bit. Not really as impressive as what it once looked like. Really, south of Salem looks like we got a little bit of rotation as well. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. Let's go over to the Evansville radar. Check in on it. And not seeing a whole bunch there like I thought we would. Go back to Paducah. Nothing really there. Not really seeing any rotation either out of that Washington County storm. I think the big headline right now has just been the excessive amount of hail we've seen across the region. Other than that, we've been knocking on wood. No tornadoes. So these severe thunderstorm warnings will expire down here near St. Genevieve and Randolph County. National Weather Service not too impressed with those, and I do agree. There might be a little bit of pocket of pea-sized hail, but other than that, nothing too major. So going back over to our tornado warning, like I said, not really impressed. If anything, we're going to have some damaging straight-line winds heading into Hoyleton. Any reports of damage or anything like that, please let me know. Like I said, right now it's just kind of a slow-moving afternoon right now, folks. We're watching these storms off to our west, and these storms will continue to push off to the east-northeast at about 40 to 50 miles an hour. So like those of you that are in Sparta and maybe northern Perry County, look out for this one near St. Genevieve. It's going to be coming your way. And then these ones down to our south, you'll kind of keep an eye on those as well. So like I said, just kind of a waiting game still. We're going to see if we get any more storm development. Looks like Sparta is reporting some larger than pea-size hail, and I'm trying to find either I am blind. There's Sparta. Couldn't find it for a hot second. And that storm must have just developed, so that one could be having some more, to be delayed a little bit. Timing for the rest of the area, still looking at about 4 to 8 p.m. this evening. So really, I know it just hit 3 o'clock, but I mean the remainder of the area, we should be all done by about 8, 9 p.m. tonight. So from now until this evening, we are not out of the woods yet. This is going to be a cell I'm going to be concerned about and going to keep an eye on. That one could be one of your longer track supercells, depending on, there's nothing down here to really get rid of it. So we're going to keep an eye on that. That one is moving at 45 miles an hour. And it is moving pretty much due east. We'll kind of kick it up a little bit, but 45. So roughly about 2.5 hours away. So that would get into the central part of southern Illinois here at about 5:36. So we've still got about 3 hours for that. So like I said, stay tuned, everybody. Just kind of keeping an eye on this tornado warning we have right now in Washington County, but it has really weakened. I don't see any rotation at all now, which is a good thing, just more of a damaging wind threat. I'm going to assume the National Weather Service will set this one to expire. And as I say that, they went ahead and canceled this tornado warning. So tornado warning is now canceled for Washington County. They will leave the severe thunderstorm warning attached to it. And like we said, we're starting to see more storms developing in and around southern Illinois. So this could help actually limit some of the development of severe weather. So help stabilize the atmosphere. So we'll go back to one screen here. We have no active tornado warnings as of right now in our region. We will keep an eye. I'm keeping an eye on things. Sparta just had a pretty nice storm develop there. St. Genevieve, your storm is weakening. I don't think we've seen any really signs of rotation at all with these, which has been very good. Like I said, the overall tornado threat is low at this time. The only time it really should start gaining strength and having a real big concern is going to be right in this area. Okay, so I know I've mentioned a lot of stuff the last couple of days, but we have shifted a lot to the south. So we're going to see this line of severe storms make its way through, push to our south, and then later on tonight, probably after 8 p.m. in this region, heads up. So Mayfield, Murray, Kentucky, Paducah, Union City, Jackson, Tennessee, Clarksville, Madisonville, Sikeston, Cape Girardeau, Poplar Bluff, Jonesboro. I mean, all those areas, Memphis, you need to be prepared if you have any friends and family in those areas. So, like I said, I'm going to cover the severe weather for our region, and then I would love to spend time with my family this evening. So I'm going to try and get back home and spend some time with them after this severe weather threat is over with. And then tomorrow we will start talking about Wednesday's severe weather. I don't want to do that right now, so don't want to confuse anybody by any means. Yeah, just not seeing that rotation in the atmosphere like we saw last week. So really this is going to turn into a hail and damaging wind threat as this moves towards southern Illinois. Isolated spin up or two, but no. I think tornado threat overall is going to be low. So that is something that is good. I definitely want to post that too, regardless. So, like I said, right now, no tornado threat to our region, and hopefully that continues. I went ahead and just posted that to the storm predictor. Now, like I said, I mean, we're going to have severe storms, so there's always a chance of a quick spin up or two. But right now, things looking very solid for our region to where we do not have to worry about the widespread tornado issues that we had the other day. So these are going to be the storms we're watching here in parts of northern Arkansas, southern southeastern Missouri. And like I said, this has been the storm I'm going to be keeping an eye on. If it does kind of go tornadic, there's nothing really to the south. So this might be one of the ones that kind of goes into southern Illinois. We were kind of monitoring a few that had the potential. But like I said, the latest model guidance really showing just not that threat. So I'm going to back up here and just look at our overall. I mean, there might be one or two, folks, but like I said, the overall threat for, stronger tornadoes is going to be northern Arkansas and western Tennessee. You can push it into parts of western Kentucky, but really, it is really pushing south. So that is great news for our area. And like I said, this is the cell right here, which I'm going to circle. If there is one cell that's going to be tornadic, folks, it's going to be this one right here that's in the central part of southeast Missouri. Wherever this cell goes is going to be your highest tornado threat, okay? Everything else is looking like a large hail and damaging wind threat at this time. So just a heads up, like I said, a lot can change, but right now, looking at the current surface data, you really don't have to rely on models anymore at this time because you can kind of just go with what you have based off your current observations. So that's good to see. So definitely confidence a lot better than what it was the last couple of days. And sadly we have another severe risk Wednesday, so we're not out of the woods quite yet. But for those of you that are very concerned about a tornadic risk or tornado risk, you can kind of relax about that a little bit. So once again, timing in Southern Illinois. It seems to be the $1,000,000 question around here. Probably about 5 to 6 p.m. For central Southern Illinois. So those of you in Williamson County, Franklin County, Jackson County, yeah, I mean, I don't. It's probably going to be about it for timing wise. So just kind of hold tight and we will go from there. So seeing that severe storm moved into Centralia and parts of Marion County again. Marion County really getting hit hard today. So Jefferson County on that northwest side of Jefferson County, you have a new severe thunderstorm warning. A lot of training going on with these storms, so a little bit of a flash flood issue for Marion County. Let's go ahead and we'll look at rainfall rates real quick. I don't want that. Yeah, so you can kind of see right there along. So yeah, about an inch right in them areas. So yeah, Marion County, northern Jefferson County getting hit pretty hard with the rain so far. I guess a lot of confusion going on with timing and everything else. The best thing I can say is regardless of where you are in southern Illinois, southeast Missouri, even western Kentucky, this should all be completely through our area here in the next 5 hours, 5 to 6 hours. So we should be all clear by at least 9 p.m. tonight. That is my hope right now. Our cold front is right here. So it is. We're just waiting on it to pass through, and once it does, we are good to go. Like I said, those in southern Illinois, I'm watching this cell right here. I can't communicate to everybody, so like I said, I'm just trying to pass information along on the live feed. Looks like we are getting some reports now of damage in Addyville and New Minden. So that could be hopefully straight line winds, but that is where that tornadic supercell went through. So let's go ahead and zoom back in over here to Marion County. Starting to see maybe some rotation. A little bit confused by that post, but we'll see here. Maybe just north of Walnut Hill there. I really don't see a whole bunch. right now. Been moving off to the Flora area. So Flora, you have a pretty good severe thunderstorm heading your way. Might not be a bad idea to seek shelter because it is confirmed 60-mile-an-hour winds. So might have some. Might want to get just indoors for that one. Yeah, Washington County EMA now have reports coming in for some damage in Addyville and New Minden. So waiting to hear back on how extensive that damage may be. That was where we did see that possible tornado earlier, about an hour ago. So kind of praying nothing major there. But regardless, at least some 60-mile-an-hour straight line winds. That was definitely dangerous. So hopefully everyone's safe in that region. Yeah, sirens are going to be going off again in Mount Vernon just due to the fact that you guys have a severe thunderstorm warning. So there's no tornado or tornado threat right now. Excuse me. I will say, though, you will have a strong to severe storm impact the northern part of Mount Vernon. So just a heads up there. Those of you in Sparta, Stillville, coming into Pinckneyville and into parts, probably the northern parts of DuQuoin, heads up. Pretty good sized severe thunderstorm coming your way. I would say anywhere from pea-size hail to quarter size and maybe 50 to 60 mile an hour winds. I haven't had anything confirmed yet. You know what? I apologize. It is confirmed. So golf ball size hail reported and 60 mile an hour wind gusts have been confirmed. This was in St. Genevieve. So Stillville, Sparta, heads up. Likely going to see an extension into Perry County. So those of you in Perry County, Pinckneyville, DuQuoin, heads up there. Severe thunderstorm heading your way. Non-tornadic at this time. Pea-size hail being reported coming through Centralia. Just went through there about 10 minutes ago. Like I said, Mount Vernon, pretty good size hail showing up on the western portions there. And then once again, this storm right here in Randolph County was looking very strong, starting to weaken a little bit. But I do anticipate a severe thunderstorm warning to be issued for Perry County here shortly. So heads up if you're in Pinckneyville, you got a pretty strong storm going to be heading your way. Tamaroa for sure, Waltonville, Bonnie, Spring Garden. We're starting to see some of these lighter showers and storms develop ahead of this. They shouldn't be any threat at all as of right now. If they are doing anything, it's helping to stabilize the atmosphere a little bit. So, like I said, right now, looking pretty good. Here's that storm I was kind of been worried about. I'm going to keep an eye on it coming into Fredericktown. Heading off into that direction. Grand Tower. Around I-55. It'll be there in about an hour. But no active tornado warnings right now, which is nice. It's like a new severe thunderstorm warning for Missouri somewhere. I think that's down over west of Poplar Bluff. Like I said, just a whole mess of storms right now. Really just stabilizing our atmosphere really north of I-64. Really the main area that has not been touched yet. Still prime for a lot of energy. It's this area. So I definitely would not rule out a few stronger storms in this region. So we're just going to wait on development and see what happens. Anytime, it's what I'm here for. So I do anticipate everyone to at least get a storm tonight, but I mean there is a chance that we don't see some development, so some may not see anything. But like I said, overall, this has been, our tornado threat is really diminished, folks. I mean, really, really diminished, which is good. The overall tornado threat is going to stay south of the Ohio River. So like I said, the main threat of tornadoes is going to be right in here, if not a little bit more further south. So like where all these storms are going. So like, still heads up, like really Paducah, like this area. Wow, that is a beautiful drawing. If you can understand anything I just said with those circles, congratulations. My goodness, that was horrible. So these storms right here are really the main bulk of storms that are going to be tornadic. And as you can see, they're moving more at an eastern or an east direction. So that would morely impact like Paducah area, Clarksville, Dyersburg, Jonesboro. So that's the area we got to keep an eye on. Now back over here to our very far west here, you can kind of see that placement. So we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on these two to see if these are the storms as well that would move up into parts of southern Illinois. So these moving more east, northeast, these moving northeast. So I hopefully I didn't confuse anybody. But regardless, we're looking at just a big blob of storms. Some of them at which are probably going to be strong to severe with hail, damaging winds, isolated threat for a tornado. Like I said, the biggest threat will be south of the Ohio now. I'm looking off surface-based data, and I'm just not seeing let's see, the one I was seeing a tornado tag on one earlier, but I don't see one right now. There it is. So just north of Centralia, and I was looking at it, but I don't see anything. But Flora, they had confirmed damaging winds and hail at golf ball size and 60-mile-an-hour winds. So this one will be near Salem. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look at this one. Yeah, see, I'm not really seeing any rotation. And it might just be because we're using a different radar. Let's go ahead, let's go to Evansville, because it's a little bit closer. And we'll see if we'll see anything. I just see straight line damaging wind threats right now for that. So no tornado threat in Salem or northern Jefferson County. This is going to be more of a damaging wind threat. There's always a chance for a quick spin up, but I do not see any rotation at this time. So let's go back to our Paducah radar and we'll zoom out a little bit. Like I said, that's just a damaging wind threat, and most of this, like you can see guys, it's starting to turn into that line, so we're not having those discrete supercells anymore. Let's see if I have an update from anyone. Wayne County, you have a severe thunderstorm warning. Of course, it's going to be north of you. It just got extended for that development, so that's going to be north of Fairfield. Like I said, not a lot of reports coming in from this right now. So if you have any reports at all, let me know. Trying to read some comments here. Like I said, I try to read everybody's comments the best I can. Sometimes I don't get to them. There's just so many people with different posts. So can't get to everybody, sadly. Still looking here, and like I said, no active tornado warnings or threats. Trying to look over some more stuff. like I said, hopefully everyone's having a good Sunday, but obviously very stormy. And I just noticed we have some data coming back from our lightning. So our lightning data was down. It looks like the server may be coming back up, and you can kind of see some lightning strikes now. So that's good. So the storm that's in Randolph County right now really showing signs of weakening, and that could be due to these storms to the south kind of cutting off the inflow. So that's obviously going to cause maybe a less of a severe weather threat to Perry County. So just heads up, strong storms moving into Perry County, but nothing tornadic at this time. And like I said, just needs to kind of weakening. So maybe some pea-size hail at most. Loving this so far. Like I said, my confidence level's through the roof. Not like it was last week or 2 weeks ago when I was pretty much sweating over every thunderstorm that went up because it was just crazy tornadic. But you know, even this one towards Fredericktown, that's starting to weaken a little bit. I mean, that's surprising to me. So this is all great news right now. A lot of this could be might stay out of the woods a little bit. Fingers crossed. I mean, we're at 3:30. We still got about 5 hours to go. But just good signs right now. And something I do want to mention, I am seeing some pretty strong development here near Ava and northwestern Jackson County. That will move into DuQuoin. So DuQuoin, heads up. I'm not saying anything's going to go tornadic on you, but just with these new cells developing, they could create more of a large hail threat because it gives it more time to develop. And knock on wood, the stream's doing pretty good right now. Computer's staying good, so hopefully we can keep on the same stream and don't have to worry about the computer dying on me or anything like that. But yeah, this cell right here over in Missouri just died. I mean, just like the one in Randolph County earlier. Look at it, so mature and strong, did pretty good. Now it's just dying out. Just dying out. That severe thunderstorm warning more than likely gonna. That storm would have been heading off into central part of southern. Wow, that was a horrible circle. Central part of southern Illinois, as you can kind of see it there. I would have been into parts of Jackson and Williamson County, but it's dying off. So, like I said, we're just gonna have to keep an eye on this stuff. New tornado warning now. Let's go to Albany. My phone did not go off. Sorry about that, folks. So that was that rotation we were talking about. I was talking with somebody in that with chat. It was Don Wilkerson. Thanks for pointing that out. Let's go back up here real quick and look. And it just decided to go right just to the south of Florida. So Clay City, need to be seeking shelter at this time. Noble. The south, it's going to come close to Olney. So Olney, you're included in this tornado warning. So I would just go ahead and seek shelter. But if there is a tornado, it's light on the rotation. But it's going to be right here. So we're going to keep an eye on that real quick. We'll kind of shift focus to our tornado warned storm. And that is going to come from the National Weather Service in Lincoln, I believe. So let's see here. I'm not for sure who issued this tornado warning. Is this St. Louis? Nope, this is Lincoln. Lincoln, I was going to say, I was really confused. That's why my phone didn't go off. I have St. Louis and Paducah all up to date, but I didn't have Lincoln because I was trying to keep that out of my air. But look at that hail, folks. My goodness. That's probably every bit of golf ball size hail coming into Clay City. So Clay City, heads up, just to the east of Florida. You are getting ready to get smacked with some very dangerous hail. I would take shelter in this storm. It's already had history of producing a possible tornado back in Nashville, Illinois, in Washington County. And the hail has just been astronomical with some of these storms. So I would highly suggest just be careful. Like I said, I know we haven't had any confirmed tornadoes yet today, but regardless, the hail has been very destructive. So any type of golf ball size hail, that's going to move into Clay City. Please seek shelter at this time. Noble, Clay City, seek shelter. Olney, you got a little bit of time, but like I said, just be ready to move into your safe shelter as soon as possible. You got about, let's see here, I would say about 10 minutes. So it's moving your way at about 45 miles an hour. Not seeing a whole bunch of indications there of rotation, and that's going to be really our best spot. I'm not trying to dog. Why? There's Lincoln. So Lincoln's radar is way up there. They're more than likely using Evansville radar, and I'm not seeing anything right now. This is obviously radar shooting to the lowest level, so it might have some high upper rotation, higher levels of rotation, but nothing at the surface right now. So obviously you probably have a rotating updraft. That's why you have those hail, large hail. So like I said, we've been seeing some of these storms approach 40, 50,000 feet today, and that's very mature for this time of year. So Noble, Olney, be careful. North side of Mount Vernon. Nashville, you're seeing hail again, this time on the south side. Salem, east side of Salem, you got good hail. Like I said, Ava is starting to see these more of these storms develop. Like I said, if there is a tornado, it is going to be just to the south of Clay City. It will hit Noble, and it will it'll track very close to Olney. So at this time, if you live in Olney or have friends and family in the Olney area, please seek shelter at this time. This is a dangerous storm that has had the history of producing some very good sized hail. And it's not super organized by any means, but I can guarantee you that hail on this is for sure real. So just heads up there. And like I said, I'm going to keep an eye on it. Not seeing the best rotation with it, but just like I said, Olney, please seek shelter if you're in this tornado warning. This is going to go for western Richland County, southeastern Clay County, and that's going to be from the National Weather Service in Lincoln. So, and they are going to be using the same radar I'm using. And you can also see with the severe storms moving through parts of Marion County. Look at that right there. All right, there's an outflow boundary, and that's going to be some damaging straight line wind. So heads up if you're in northern northern Jefferson County, heading on into Wayne County. Heads up there. Like I said, and then just like that, severe thunderstorm warning now issued for Wayne County. That's going to be north of Fairfield, north of Wayne City, Johnsonville, Jeffersonville, and Mount Erie. Heads up. Very strong winds coming your way, probably 60-plus mile an hour. Perry County, you're starting to get involved with all the severe storms. This one near Sparta has weakened quite a bit, so just general storms, a couple strong right now. The strongest ones are north of our region. I say north of our region, but I cover it as well. So Clay City, Noble, all need to be taking shelter at this time. Like I said, just be careful. A lot going on. So keeping an eye on that rotation. We'll see if we got something with that latest scan. Like I said, just not really a whole bunch going there. The biggest threat's going to be this hail here on the backside. It's about golf ball size hail. So the hail finally stopping in Nashville. They got hit pretty hard twice. Looks like about pea-size hail. You hate to say marble because they're different marble size, but if you had a small marble, it'd probably be about that size as well. But that's some good hail. It looks like quite a bit fell there, so hopefully everyone's safe in Washington County. Like I said, we continue with this tornado warning just to the south. Just to the south of Clay City, Illinois, heading towards Noble and Olney. This is going to track right into Olney off that state highway there, and we're going to go ahead and get it up. That's going to be State Highway 50 in Richland County. So be careful if you're in that region. Like I said, a lot of farmland, a lot of open space. If there's anything that anyone can report, please let me know. Like I said, it's not the best looking structure of a supercell, but look at all this down here. Nothing. No storms, no nothing. It's got clear inflow, and it's got that little notch right there. Like I said, if you're a noble, you need to be taking shelter right now. Anybody driving along Route 50 to Olney or in between Clay City, Noble, Olney, need to be seeking shelter right now. I don't know how big Noble is. They do have a Dollar General, so that means they have made the list of a big town. So if you're in Noble, please seek shelter. Serious situation ongoing right there. Definitely don't want anybody getting hurt over a possible tornado. And regardless, even if there isn't a tornado, you got at least 60, maybe even 50, 60 mile an hour winds with golf ball size hail. That's just not going to be good. Thanks, Kayla. Yes, I have a couple friends that are in Nashville. Just got some pictures of the hail. You guys got hit really hard today. Hopefully everybody's safe. And I don't think we've had any power outages. That's one thing I try to look at. I guess instead of